Hey guys, so this is going to be part 3 of the create character kind of project videos. Basically for part 1 we talked about how the loops of the eyes and the nose and the mouth are very important for animation purposes. For part 2 we pretty much closed up the head, closed up the cheeks, and we talked about those little details that we have that we need to preserve. And for part 3 hopefully we'll be able to finish the entire head, connect it to a neck, and start working on the actual body, which is to me honestly the easiest part of creating a character. So let's get going here. First off, I noticed that the nose is very bad. If you notice, like on the left view here, we have a little bit of detail that we're lacking here, that we don't have. And as well on the front view, it's a little bit wider than this, and we have some geometry that we're lacking as well. So let's get going with that first. So let me open up my actual view here. Great, remove Turbo Smooth, and let's start working. So first step, I want to remove the nostril. It's pretty terrible. So I'm gonna jump in here, press 4, grab that. We're gonna say grow, delete, and I'm gonna grab my number 3 on edit poly and cap this section off, just so I can have a better view of what's happening. So we do need a bit more geometry around the nostrils, right there. So it's pretty much this part right here. So what we can do is take the entire nose, except this piece probably. Let's see. No, it's gonna be this piece. Alright, we're gonna extrude out just a little bit. Just enough. That should be okay. Press accept. Let's see it in Turbo Smooth if we actually have a little bit of a shape, better shape happening here. Alright. We're starting to get that shape which we want, so let's keep working on that. So my problem here is that this is causing some issues, so what we're going to do is just go into your welding mode, grab these. This might not work, I'm not sure yet, I'm just trying to test it out, see if we're going to get a good effect out of it. And just target weld all of the correspondent vertices. So we created depth, that's what we wanted first. So I hope the music in the background doesn't bother you, it helps me kind of focus, which I'm doing a very bad job at right now. Why isn't this accepting it? Alright, we'll get back into this one. No, it's not gonna work. There's some overlapping vertices that will not be able to accept it. So what we're gonna do instead, I'm gonna grab a little bit of geometry, start moving it outwards. And this polygon right here, this one, we're gonna rotate it and move it inwards a little bit. There we go. Let's see with Turbo Smooth. Yeah, we're starting to get the shape we're looking for. It's a little bit too flat, so let's keep working on it. So here what I can do, delete, let me grab my border, 3, and start moving this upwards. And I'm gonna actually create a few subdivisions inside of it with my ring. Connect. Let's see if this will help it out a little bit. That is definitely much better. It is still going downwards a little bit too much, so just so I understand the process of this part 3 of the character is that we have to create the small little details that we need to look for. Those are pretty important right now. So we set those up very lately, and we'll be able to continue. So let me grab this segment right here. And try to move it upwards a little bit, while I move this one downwards. This vertex as well, downwards. A little bit better. Grab this one. Let me increase the side of the gizmo. I can't really see anything. Let's try it out. Much better. Actually looks like a nostril right now. Great. And I'm gonna keep those little details. I don't mind them. They're actually pretty nice. Okay. Now for the eyelids. So remove Turbo Smooth. So if you look at the character, all of this is actually part of the eyelid. This is the actual center of the eye. So what we're gonna do here is completely shape out the eye. And the rest will become the actual eyelid. Did we do any harsh modifications here? No, we did not. Great. Okay. So the way to get a perfect eyelid, honestly, is just to create one single crease. And I'm going to show you now. So let me actually turn this into an invisible mesh. Object properties. See through, just so I can see what's happening here. Alright, so it reaches this point. So what we want is to get these points as well aligned to the eyelid. As much as possible. There, that should be enough. That's a good line right there. Alright, so all of this is going to be an eyelid. So let me grab this ring. Since we have the perfect topology on the actual character, something went wrong here. Let me just see if there is a problem. Yep, there was. Weird. So we're going to grab this one. Ring, perfect. It loops all around. Create one single connection. Okay. And I want to start digging it in. So I'm going to take the same exact one. Chamfer it. Not that big. Create one indentation. And start moving these polygons, the ones that we want the eyelid to show, outwards a little bit. Or if you want the middle one, inwards. Just a little bit. There we go. Now grab these and start moving them outwards with the respected one on the bottom. Be kind of aggressive with the movement here, because the Turbo Smooth will actually take care of everything else. But we do want this effect to happen. We do want it to pop out a little bit more. Great. Alright, let's grab this one as well. Move it outwards. Same for this one. Okay, let me remove see-through. And let me see in Turbo Smooth if it looks alright. Not bad. Alright, so here we have a bit of problem. We have a bit of detail that we don't want, which we're going to be fixing right now. And it's not puffy enough for me. I need to actually pop out a little bit more, just like the reference is showing us. So just grab and really get aggressive with this. Alright, much better here. Alright, and for this detail right here, we don't need that much. So what we're going to do, since our eyelid stops around here, so let me pull this back a little bit. Great. So this is the corner of the eye. Let's just weld these. Weld these, and don't forget your repeat command is your semicolon. So here we go. Hopefully that removed a bit of the details we were seeing. Let's see. Perfect. Alright. A little bit more, but what we're going to do now is actually relax this entire area. So we go our vertex tool, we take all the way down. Let me just open up this panel. There we go. Paint deformation, relax, and let's just relax these points right here. Not too much, that's a little bit too strong. So the brush strength, try to keep it around 0.2, that should be fine. It's going to slowly move the objects that you're looking for. We can also do the same around here, just to keep the nose from that little strong detail. And we want that detail here, so it's perfect. Great. Remove relax, super smooth again. And let's see what we have. Sorry, my computer's been acting a little bit weird lately, so I'm gonna try to... There we go. Pretty good. We lost all the detail we didn't want on the bottom, and we have the top. Great. Okay. So let's start adding some more details. First of all, I'm going to symmetry this. Symmetry and flip. Okay, see, the face is a little bit too wide. I mean, look at him on the reference. He has those cheekbones, which we want. So I'm going to take my edit poly. I'm going to make sure that symmetry is activated as a child of edit poly. That way when I move something, it will move on the symmetry itself. It's not working. Give me 1 second. Should be now. There we go. Alright, so what we're going to do is just relax. Just take your relax tool. And we're going to try to relax this form inwards. Still taking the vertex. That sucks. Alright, let's try again. I'm not seeing much of a change. So what I'm going to do is press an FFD, 3x3. There we go. Much better. Let's try a... Let me delete the symmetry, add these two together. Try another FFD, 4x4. I want a bit more details around here. Perfect. So what I'm going to do is just grab the end ones and just push them in while pushing these out. Grab these, push them in, and these a little bit out. There we go. Much better. And collapse all into an edit poly. Now we can symmetry again. Alright, I seem to have lost my middle value, so what we're going to do is grab our W, grab the entire border, well actually just the vertices right here. Try to be as precise as you can without taking any extra polygons. Let me see. Great, and all we're going to do is scale to 1 single degree, right there, just like that. And now we're going to make sure that our pivot point is perfectly centered. Here, there we go. And now symmetry should work perfectly fine. And flip. Super smooth. It looks alright. Very good. Alright. So now let's continue with the actual bottom of the actual head. So we're gonna take a new polygon. We're gonna do the ears at the end, so don't worry about that. Cylinder. Top view. I want it to be at 0, 0, 0. There we go. So preferably make it either 12 or 8 sides. Alright, I'm gonna try 8 first, see if I have enough topology to work with it. I remove all the height segments, it helps me a little bit better. Just to be able to judge where I want it to be. That's good. Convert edit poly. Remove the top segment, the top cap. There we go. Border, and I'm gonna start scaling this downwards. Shift click and move to be able to copy the edges that you're forming. Alright, and let's get it right about here. So now I want these vertices to move downwards to here. This one to move a little bit further down as well. Just to shape that little jawline, and we keep that perfectly stable. Let's look at it. Alright, so next step, pick up the face, remove turbo smooth, remove symmetry. You can take half of the cylinder if you want to. So take the half that you're working on, delete. There we go. And now we can start adding some more details. All the details on the neck are going to be irrelevant, but we need them to connect. So that's the point. So I'm going to create a few connections here. Here as well, and here as well, and the back one as well. Ring, connect, just a few polygons. And we're going to start connecting these two together. So, we want to attach. We're going to pick up the first one and grab it to this one and a bridge. Give it around a 4, should be okay. Yeah. Then we look at over here, we're going to grab this one and connect it as well. Try to keep it as 90 degrees for now. That's what we're looking at. Bridge, the back, and bridge. Okay, let's look at the back first. It's not perfect to the actual reference, but it'll be okay. This one needs a little bit more help. There we go. So what we're doing is just realigning to the actual mesh itself. There we go. Alright, and now we can start connecting all of this and closing everything up. So let's do this. I'm gonna connect. Just adding a bit of topology just so I can get ready to connect everything together. This part we're gonna leave it at the end. Start from the top. Bridge 1, 2, 3, 4. Bridge. And as you do this, just start making your way down. Good so far. So now here, let's try to get this one. This one we can move up a little bit. this one into 2. So I can get a quad over here. This we can cut in half. And as well into 2. And this final segment, ring, connect, and weld these two together. So you're going to do a lot of modifications, just don't worry about it too much. Let me drop this down and create a quad right here. Great. Let's start moving. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 1, 2, 3. That's a bit of a problem. So what we're going to do is create a loop from the bottom to the mouth. Here we go. So ring this. It's going to go all the way to the top. Connect 1 so I can get 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect. And now we can start working. This little extra detail will not affect anything. It's just helping us close the loop. 1, 2, 3. Bridge. For now, forget about the form. Forget about everything else. Just close the holes and you'll be fine. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's bad. So let's just delete this one and that one. Yeah, that works. Bridge once. So like I always say, there's no strict plan on creating a character. You can do it any way you want. But the most important part is that the loops of the eyes and the nose and the mouth are there. The structure of the entire face is there, and you don't have any n-gons, which is a 5-sided polygon. So just be careful about those, and that's it. That's all you care about. So let me weld these. Target weld. There we go. And now we're gonna do the entire back of the head as well. Pretty much same principle. 1, 2, 3, 4. Same thing. So 4. 1, 2, 3. Yep, perfect. So we can start moving from that side to this side. If you add more details here, it's perfectly fine. So I have 1, 2. I need to add 2 here. So ring, connect, add 2, and that's it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Great. Alright. So here what we can do is create a separate polygon that goes all the way down to this loop. That could work. Alright. So what we're going to do here is weld. This is a detail on the back of the neck. You do not care about that. It will not be shown. So this is where we can start hiding certain mistakes we've made or certain polygons that do not fit properly. Okay. Here I do want it to be a quad. So either I'm going to take from the head. Yeah, the head will work perfectly. So let's weld these so I can connect that. Reset command, and there we go. So this one I'm going to take it, ring it, all the way up top of the head, and create one single connection. So I can take this polygon and move it up a little bit, and create another quad right here. And that's great. Closed up the entire head. And now we have to refine all of this. Oh, I still have this piece right here. There we go. Okay, let's turbo smooth. Let's see what we have so far. So very jagged, very strong jawline. Not a lot of details here. This is very bad. So what we're going to do now is just refine all of this. And it's pretty easy. Just use the push and pull and those kind of structures here. Too strong. So we're going to lower the brush to 0.1 here. We're going to work very slowly. Just to be able to get the details we're looking for. Take your time doing this little step. It's going to make a big difference in the end. Don't forget Alt goes back in. The jawline, I'm going to keep it. I like that strong jawline. I'm going to keep it for that character. But here we're going to add a bit more geometry. If any of you have ever worked with ZBrush or anything like that, you know how this brush works. Like the standard brush inside of ZBrush. It helps a lot. just adding a little bit more here because I can relax it later. There we go. So now I'm gonna relax it. I'm gonna make my brush size a little bit bigger. Let me see, a little bit more. There we go, just so I can have more control over this. So again, relax, what it does is just realigns the polygons correctly. It looks at the surrounding vertices and kind of realigns. So look at this line, it's like a bit jagged. So when I start relaxing, it tries to straighten itself out, which is the point we're trying to make here. But don't forget, when you're using relax, you have to recreate the symmetry for the character, because look, see, it's completely warped and moved. There we go, let's turbo smooth all of this. It's a little bit too rough here, so we need to adjust that a little bit more. So the relax tool, I'm gonna go 0.3. It could be a bit more aggressive. Just look on all angles, just make sure the cranium is good, the head is straight, everything flows together. There we go, that's a lot better. Turbo smooth this. There we go. The head of the character is done, and the neck. Once we have the neck set up, this is pretty much done. The face is pretty much there. We just have to add the small little finer details, but we're going to actually start working on the actual body of the character, which is going to be pretty easy. Over here we have like small little construction lines, which are really good to see, just to help us a little bit see how the character is. Forget about the clothes. The clothes, we're going to do them later. But for now, just focus on the inside geometry of the character. So let's finish this up. Take my border tool and try to remove all the information I don't need. Control click on my vertex. See if I picked up any extra vertices that I don't want. Nose is okay, head's okay, perfect. And again, scale uniformly on one single side. In this case, it's the X. Reposition your pivot point. And symmetry, this entire thing. Flip. There we go, turbo smooth. Fantastic, we have a great looking character so far. Oh, the head in the back is actually open. Why is that happening? Let me see. Oh, we forgot a few vertices here. So let's just adjust these very quickly. So I'm just using snap constraint tool just to be able to get all of these together. There we go. Symmetry and flip, let me see. Perfect. Turbo smooth. Great. What are these? Why are these going upwards? Oh, okay, this is happening. Something is definitely not welded. Alright, let's check again. Remove the symmetry. Something over here is not welded. Ah, there they are. Small little points. That's a bit too strong. Still no. Let's see. Yep, there they are. That's number one. Number two. This would have been very bad if we animated the character without noticing these. Okay. Symmetry, flip, turbo smooth. There we go. So now just keep this on the side. We're gonna start working on the actual body. So you can create the body in multiple ways. I like using cylinders. That's my preference. It's easier to connect on certain elements. If you don't like cylinders, you can use a box as well. So same principle, I like to use a 8-sided cylinder just for the start. So let me put it right here. Let me align it to the center. Look on the left view. It's going to be our body. I like to look at this area right here. Well, I mean, it's kind of a semicircle, so let's just use that actually. Why are we bothering so much? Let's take a sphere. Convert that to poly. I'm going to remove half of it. There we go. Grab those edges and start moving your way upwards. Doesn't have to be super fine detailed. You kind of have to give it space for the actual clothing. So try your best to get the overall shape. Don't forget to rotate. Overall shape going for you. That's a bit too big. There we go. Now we move to the front view. And we fix it up here as well. So grab all of these. Scale up. Actually, let me do the bottom first. That's like the most important part. There we go. Alright. Actually, sorry, I made a small mistake. I should not scale them uniformly. I have to scale them on one single axis. There we go. Scale up. I'm kind of looking on this side and on this side if I can get it pretty even, which it kind of is. It's not going to be a big problem if it's not. Yeah, not bad. We're looking at a good start right here. So, next, the arms. So, grab a cylinder for these arms. Degrees. Convert to poly, remove both of the caps. And let's start shaping this. Now, for the arms, something very important. You have to keep in mind the actual joints of the character, where the bones will meet. So here I like to go 1, scale up, move forward, scale down, and follow the reference from there. Now granted, I did not follow very well. I'm gonna restart this little section right here. So let me just make this into invisible so I can see a little bit better of what I'm doing. There we go. I might need a little bit more detail here, so I'm gonna connect. There we go. Here we go, so again, step, your elbow, step, go down, and continue straight forward. So we're gonna step at the actual wrist area, which is right here, because then the hand's gonna come there. kind of regretting using an actual sphere. Alright, let's redo the body for 1 second. I'm sorry about that. Let me take a sphere, but let me actually just rotate it a little bit better than what I did. Would that be better? For the legs, that would be better. So my only concern before was that I feel like maybe the legs will not connect correctly to the actual shape of the body, and that's why I had to restart it. So here in this case, let's just start from here. If we put in center, let me just scale it down a little bit more so I can fit right here. Great. Make sure here it's also scaled properly. There we go. Just follow the flow of the body, that's the most important part. Same thing, grab the vertices and just scale them enough. I feel like this side of his clothing is a bit like weird. There's a bit too much crevices and like folds and stuff, so just focus on that side. Just try to get it as close as you can to the other side. There we go, that's a little bit better. Alright, this one's gonna be a bit tricky, so I'm gonna be... There we go. Alright, we have the hand, we have the body. Legs is gonna be pretty much the same thing. So, the way we're gonna just attach everything is gonna be welding the neck to the actual body, the arms. The way we're gonna do the arms is actually pretty fun. Since it's an 8-sided polygons and we know that for a fact, we can basically remove 4 polygons. That'll be 8-sided cylinder and we can just merge everything and weld everything. So hope this helps. On part 4 we'll be finishing up the body, finishing up all the small little details that we have. On part most likely 5 we're going to be doing the clothing, the hands and all of that stuff. So hope you really enjoyed this series. If you do, please leave a like and comment and subscribe. I really appreciate it and it helps me a lot. And I'll see you on the next video. Thank you. Bye.